This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Afternoon Show here live on the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. I'll be your host and producer this afternoon, Logan Landers, and joining me is a full cast and crew. Today up first, we're going to be talking with Big Glenn. We also have Tony Gonzalez, and later on the program, Chris Gonzalez will be joining us as well to provide his analysis and his takes from all the happenings in the sports world over the past weekend and 24 hours and then some. So we have a lot to get into before we do. If you guys enjoy the show, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch as well. You can find all of our platforms as well as the rest of our great shows and an umbrella under our network here. Just go in our link tree in the description and just scroll forever and ever. You can find tons of great content from all of our various channels and shows here on the network. Well, guys, let's get into it. First off, glad you guys had a great weekend. And Tony, I know you and Chris were actually at the Colts game, you said, this past week. So just talk a little bit about that, the experience you guys had, how the stadium was, and most importantly, how it was from your seats watching the game.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. We went to a place we've been wanting to eat on the way down. Of course, I'm proud of Dan's Fat Deli. That's pretty close to, not too far from the stadium. And we ate there. It was outstanding. Then went to the game.
He's probably outside my building, Tony.
Oh, no, really? And
yeah.
we headed over to the stadium. Got in right as 2 or 3 minutes before kickoff. So about perfect. Really good game. Pretty good seats. Not great seats, but pretty good, pretty solid. And we had a real good time. It was all family. So had a nephew and his son, and my grandson, and Chris and me. So had a good time. I seen a good game. I mean, my grandson Austin's a huge Arizona fan. He was a little disappointed that Kyler Murray didn't play, of course, because it was an opportunity to see Murray. But he was happy the way Arizona played. Honestly, I thought Brissett played probably better than Murray would have. Brissett looked very good. Our defense didn't look great against their passing game. But our offense looked good. So, we won the game. I think we ended up winning by 4 points. So it was a good game, good time.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about just kind of the full slate of games here in a moment. But Glenn, want to welcome you into the show, man. I know we had a good weekend watching, first off, the WNBA Championship Saturday night. And then I know you said you were playing a little bit of NASCAR 25 a little early. So sounds like you had a good weekend all in all.
Oh, most definitely. It's been pretty lax since the fair got put out and stuff, and with the Pacer fan zone being retired in that way, it's gonna be a little bit weird having more time on my hands. But obviously, you guys have known me long enough. I'll make good use of that time.
I was about to say, I'm sure you'll find some event in town to go to. I know you don't stay home much, so you'll find some other way to take your time there. But guys, well, I mean, I brought it up. Let's talk about it. It happened Saturday night, so it's been a couple of days since we've been able to speak about it, but Las Vegas Aces win the championship once again, and A'ja Wilson crowned MVP, and I believe it says she was the only player in league history to have, what was it, the MVP, the finals MVP, as well as, I believe, a Defensive Player of the Year award. I mean, you talk about who's running the league, and it's Wilson. It's also the Aces, who have just been kind of steamrolling opponents for, what feels like forever. Also, I mean, people too, they had kind of a rough start to the beginning of the season, but then they just caught fire and they rode all the way to another championship with, of course, that great crew, the great coaching staff, players that they've acquired over the past years and years to help kind of build that dynasty. But Glenn, I know you followed the sport closer than any of us. So talk about just kind of Aces team and what you saw and, just their utter kind of dominance they've had over the league for the past handful of seasons.
Yeah, well, if you want to look at the dominance in the league, just look how they handled the Fever up until this year. Up until this year, the Fever hadn't beaten Vegas since before COVID, and we played them. Excuse me, about 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah,
so they've been kicking our ass, and they've been kicking the league's ass, and it looks like they going to be sticking around for a little bit because without the additions of Melissa Smith and Dana Evans that they picked up this year, I'm not sure if they win it and stuff. I think, but them adding those two lays helped them get back to where they want to be.
Yeah, and Tony, let's get your thoughts on the Aces bringing home. I think it was their third title in the last 4 or 5 years. So, we talked about we were here whenever Golden State was kind of wrapping up their run when we kind of started the show here. But I mean, it's starting to kind of rival that. And when you look at just great basketball dynasties, regardless of the W or not.
Yeah, they're a very good team. Asia Wilson's by far the best player in the WNBA. She may not be the most popular or most well known, but she is by far the best player in WNBA and deserves all the accolades that she gets. The Indiana Fever, we give them a good series, and we were without a lot of players. Was really the only team that gave them a good series in the playoffs. But yeah, they're very well deserved champions, and depending on what's going to happen off the off season with this new collective bargaining and all this stuff, I don't know what's going to happen there, but it looks like they may be here to maybe win quite a few more championships if everything goes their way. So should be anyway.
To add on that, Tony, I do think they surpass like Minnesota and the Houston Comets, but the teams that have won the most titles, with that being 4 championships. They're 1 away. I think they get 2 by the end of this decade.
Yeah, man, it wouldn't surprise me at all. They are locked and loaded right now. They got all the pieces, and hopefully they can keep their core together like they've been able to do. And then, if some leave, they can find some valuable replacements and go in and just kind of fit like get a perfect.
Yeah, the only thing, Logan, that might keep them from being able to be dominant is the fact of the 2 new teams coming into the league.
That's true.
It might deplete some of their depth.
Yeah, that could be it also, because like I said, that they have their they kind of do theirs how the other leagues done theirs in Subban, right? That you have a pool of players you can select to be drafted or taken, and those who aren't eligible, but the ones who don't get picked, those are the ones kind of who might be able to go to that franchise if they select them. Is that kind of how it works, Glenn?
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
If they get the CBA done in time, the expansion draft for Toronto and Portland will probably be right before Christmas. And same with the draft lottery. The schedule will probably come out around that same time if they get this done.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are thinking that there's going to be a lockout. I honestly don't think there's going to be one. I think that think that they work something out. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we hope so. With the way the league has kind of been building momentum, in the last 2-3 years at this point, that would really kind of maybe harm it if they do at least kind of halt their momentum. By locking out for who knows how long, just undetermined if they even get to that point. Hopefully, they don't. But it kind of feels like you're headed that direction, especially with the recent comments that have been made about the commissioner, not very favorable. Many of the players and coaches, whatnot, eyes. So, I hope they don't get to it, but it wouldn't shock me either if there is.
Once they get the CBA worked out, Engelbert will be out as commish.
If they do a lockout for any length of very very long, very lengthy time, that would be a very bad thing for that league. Look what it did for baseball. I mean, I don't know if baseball's ever fully recovered. Completely.
NHL, Tony,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it would be a huge mistake for the league if they let this happen.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes overall, but that still a little bit in the future. So we'll get back to that topic. We'll circle back whenever it does arrive. We got some baseball, guys. The National and American League Championship Series one has already happened. Game 1 happened last night with the Mariners picking up the win over the Toronto Blue Jays. So winning that one, final score 3-1. Both teams playing tonight. Seattle takes on Toronto at 5 Eastern, and then at 8 Eastern, LA and Milwaukee square off 8 o'clock there. Blake Snell will be facing an undecided pitcher. We still don't know at the time of our show who is going to be on the bump for Milwaukee tonight, but we know that for the Seattle and Toronto game, it's going to be Logan Gilbert facing off against Trey Yesavage. So good matchups there all around, and we'll see how the championship series shakes out. But I guess, guys, we can talk a little bit about what happened in the game the other day where Seattle was able to get their first win in championship series in quite some time, but against a game Toronto team. So Tony, let's start with you. Just kind of your thoughts overall on Game 1 with Seattle picking up the W.
Yeah, the pitching for both teams was pretty solid. But Miller's 6 innings, only 2 hits and 1 run, and the bullpen was lights out for 3 innings. And that's why Toronto, that was why Seattle got the win. Toronto only had 2 hits. Gaussman pitched well. He only gave up 2 runs. It was a real pitcher's duel, and Seattle just came out on top. But yeah, the big key there was the bullpen for Seattle. It was very good, and considering how much they had used their bullpen in the other series, I mean that was a good sign, because some people questioned, after they went to that, especially that extra inning game, 13 innings, 14 innings, whatever it was, that they may be depleted. But pitching stepped up, and Seattle got a big win on the road.
Yeah, and Glenn, I felt that way too. Kind of going off what Tony said, I was very surprised by the bullpen, especially with how taxed that they were. After that, I believe it was a 15-inning ball game to even get there against Detroit. So the fact that they were able to come out and play as well as they didn't, like you said, credit to Bryce Miller, who got you through 6, which is a solid start, helps you out. And of course, big hitting. Obviously, Cal Raleigh had the home run as well. So it seems like that Seattle is just red hot. And look at me, Toronto's been playing great ball as well, but that's kind of at least Game 1. Seattle looked just a little bit more kind of up to par with the where we're at in the season right now.
Yeah, Seattle came out fresh, especially with them playing the other night and stuff. I want to see Seattle take down Toronto and go to the World Series, because those fans honestly deserve a world championship for baseball. So to see them do what they did last night was amazing, honestly.
No, and I mean, whenever the playoffs started, I'm hoping, and it's still out there, that we get a Mariners and Brewers World Series. It's never happened before throughout the history of baseball. Both teams, the Mariners, I don't know, have they even been to since the 70s when they were the Pilots? Have they even been to a World Series since? I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
I don't think they've been.
But I know Milwaukee, I don't think they haven't won since the Robin Yount days, I believe. So, I mean, that's been quite some time for them as well, just to even get back. So I just think that, honestly, all 4 of these teams here, I think would be nice champions to have. It'd be a nice kind of change of pace for baseball. Kind of getting to, outside of LA, kind of smaller market franchises, perhaps Toronto, obviously their whole thing of not even being in the States, winning that. We've seen that before in the past. But, I mean, teams like, Seattle and Milwaukee, who they spend money from time to time, but, they're not any of the large spenders. They kind of do it through the draft or by trade. They get it done that way to what we've seen now in great success. So, we'll see how it goes. It also looks like in the bottom here, look at that. Talking about baseball, and he pops up. It's Foxborough Frankie C, a.k.a. Frankie the Yankee when the season's intact. But, Frankie, how you doing, my brother? It's been a while.
It's Foxborough Frankie now.
It is now.
I'm doing good, Logan. It's good to be back by your side here on the live stream. It's been a while, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're talking some baseball. We just talked about the win Seattle had the other night, 3-1. Tonight, we got a 5 o'clock matchup, Seattle, Toronto, Gilbert versus Savage, and then Blake Snell versus question marks right now with Milwaukee. Let's talk about Game 2 for Seattle and Toronto, and then also let's get your thoughts as well, guys, on the start of the National League Series with LA, with Milwaukee. Frankie, you got the floor first, my friend. What you like about these matchups today?
I like the battings, offense on both teams. I'm not really liking the pitching on both of these squads. I mean, the starting pitching for the Dodgers are obviously, talented and they're good and they can go, lots of innings. But once it gets to the bullpen, we all know how the Dodgers bullpen just implodes and they're just a disaster. I honestly don't know how they got past Philly. Oh, wait, yes, I did, because Philly did a, dumb mistake at the end of the game to end their season. But with Milwaukee, they just barely got through the Chicago Cubs. I'm not really looking good and on both these pitching squads. So it's going to come down to bats for me. Who's going to score the more runs? And I do believe it's in Milwaukee. I am going to favor Milwaukee on this over the Dodgers, more because of bullpen wise. Other than that, I can't imagine the Dodgers going past Milwaukee on this one. And plus, Dodgers beat us in the World Series last year. I'm just surprised they made it this far.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be hopefully some two good matchups once again. Tony, let's get your thoughts on today's action we're going to have later on.
Yeah, I'm definitely rooting for Milwaukee. Dodgers worry me, though. They have good bats, too, and they're the best team of baseball at home. Milwaukee does have the home field advantage, so I think they got to keep that. They got to win these games at home. I think if they lose at home, they could be in big trouble. So I'm going to root for Milwaukee, but I'm worried the Dodgers are going to make it back to the World Series.
All right, Big Glenn, what'd you think?
I think LA is in danger. I'm not sure if they're ready for Milwaukee. If things go Milwaukee's way, this might be a short series.
My thoughts are for LA, a good start by Blake Snell can set the tone. If your starting pitcher, especially in a game one, comes out and, kind of like we saw Bryce Miller for Seattle, go for 6 strong innings, limit base hits and limit runs, obviously. That can really help out your offense, which, like Tony said, the bats are, if they're clicking, they're hard to stop. As for Milwaukee, just kind of got to play, the cards you're dealt, whoever you're starting tonight, see what they can do. Hopefully you don't get to the bullpen super early. And tax them early on. You never want to see that in a 7-game series like this. So we'll see how it goes. But I think we're all, for the most part, rooting for Milwaukee to win this one. And we'll see how it goes overall. But that is it for the baseball front. We're going to go into our college football session now. And, of course, we saw a lot of big games over the weekend, a lot of upsets. And, of course, the brand new top 25. I'm just going to run down the top 5 for the moment because, obviously there's more, but I don't want to be here for the whole day. So let's find it out here. Where the hell did this go? Hold on. I had it and then it left me, guys. I love it. Well, we know number 1 is going to be Ohio State. We know number 2 is going to be Miami. And I'll let you guys talk about this because, guys, Indiana, number 3. What the hell are we doing right? What are we doing right now? Big Glenn, what's happening?
I tell you what, man, it's a dang shame that Ohio State is not on IU schedule this year because they can get these hands too. Hey, we control that game from start to finish on Saturday. It was amazing to watch, honestly. Like, I never really felt like we was in danger of losing that game at any point. Even when our quarterback threw the interception. As I know, they're going to figure it out, get a few stops, put some points up on the scoreboard, and win the game. And sure enough, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, and Tony, hey, highest ranking ever for the program. This season, everyone thought last year was kind of the maybe the peak, but obviously not. So, what are your thoughts on IU going on so far?
Well, Signetti found out last year with the team that he had once he got into the playoffs and played the better teams, Ohio State, Notre Dame, that they were just too big and strong for him. And so that was one of the main things that he knew that they had to get more bigger and more physical. And he said he felt like. I watched after about the second game of the year. He said he felt like that they had accomplished that they were more physical and going to have a better chance to be able to play against these teams. And I think that showed against Oregon, who had one of the better offenses in the league. I think there was a top 5 or 6 offense in the league, and we held them to 267 total yards, only 81 yards rushing. But the big key for us was Oregon's quarterback. I think had only given up 1 sack all year. We sacked him 6 times. So our defense really stepped up, and our offense played well. Not our normal, because we're a top 5 offense also, but not as quite as many yards we normally get. But we had 326, 111 yards rushing. They had 2 turnovers. We only had 1, and we controlled the time of possession by about 7 minutes. So it was just an all-team win, and IU's looking very good now. Whether they can win a championship or not, that's easier said than done. So, but do I think they're a contender? Definitely. I think they are really a contender this year. Last year, they was more of a pretender. This year, I think they're more of a contender.
Tony, a question for you. Do you think they make the Big Ten title game? And do they win it? Yeah.
I think they make the Big Ten title game. If they play Ohio State like I think they will, I think it's a toss-up between them two.
Yep. And they very well could with the way they're playing right now. The just kind of passion they got on the field. And Frankie, we'll go with you. And I know, honestly, look, after the top three, you got 4. You got a slew of SEC teams. You got A&M, followed by Ole Miss. Alabama, number 6. You guys got a good win this past weekend. But jumped a couple slots and proved that, hey, the world isn't falling, and we're doing just fine with Alabama. But you got a Tennessee game coming up on 18th, 7:30. So that'll be another good test for your boys down there in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait, honestly. Alabama's actually got some tough ranked not division opponents, but some tough ranked teams that are coming up in like the next 3 weeks. So I'm really excited. This is a test right now for Ty Simpson, who to me is absolutely playing dog's life right now. Like, I love the way this kid is playing for Alabama, and just the players around him. I mean, we're like the defense on Alabama is like not up to par because we are literally like injured on the defensive part. We have a lot of like top tier name players that are hurt right now, but just the fact that Alabama is showing that next man up mentality. It's absolutely amazing. I love it all around. And we're playing against tough teams too. Nobody thought we'd beat Missouri. They were a 5-0 team, and we went in there on a tough game. We didn't blow them out, but it was a tough fight. I apologize for that. It was a tough fight. We got the win, man. Now we got to go and play Tennessee, which I'm glad it's at home and it's not in Tennessee. So that's a good part on our thing. I'm just hoping that our head coach continues to wear the black sweater because apparently he wins when he wears the black sweater. They put up the funny stat that he's 12-2 while wearing a black sweater in the games, and any other color that he's wearing, he's 2-3. So continue to wear the black. Let's get the win and let's climb up the ladder, man. Because literally when we lost first game against Florida State, it didn't look good. The way we played, the way we turned the ball over, and how many points we scored, we didn't look good. We fell really far down on the top 25 list. And just to win 5 straight in a row and climb right back up into the top 10, it's an amazing accomplishment for these young guys, and including Ty Simpson, who's to me absolutely having a Heisman Trophy year. I'm not going to say he's going to win, but he could definitely be in the nominations for Heisman Trophy of the year.
Yeah, very well could be. Before we just kind of dive into some of the other stuff we saw over the weekend, some teams that have now entered the top 25 that were unranked last week includes the USC Trojans at number 20, the Texas Longhorns coming at number 21. Number 23 will be the Utah Utes, followed by the Cincinnati Bearcats at 24, and rounding out the top 25, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Teams that just missed it, or it looks like Illinois, Michigan, and Washington being the top 3 teams with the most kind of votes there to get in the top 25. But guys, what are maybe just some of your thoughts, what you saw this weekend? Obviously, there's a ton of games. You can't watch all of them. But any teams or any stats that you saw that impressed you this past week? Glenn, we'll go with you first.
Texas is the state of the rank that I was playing. They earned that 21 spot, even with them beating Oklahoma in that big game down there at the Cotton Bowl and stuff. So that's pretty much my thoughts on that one.
I got you. All right, Frankie, anything fun you watched over the weekend? Obviously, I knew you watch Alabama, but any other teams or anything you saw?
Yeah, I saw the LSU game. That was pretty good. I want to tip my cap off to Texas, man. My cap definitely goes off to Texas. They had a good game against Oklahoma. Everybody thought Oklahoma was going to come out there and beat Texas because of how Texas has been playing really bad as of these last couple of weeks. But Oklahoma, to me, messed up where they ended up bringing their quarterback back to play. The kid just had surgery literally 17 days prior to having that game, and then thinking that he was ready, and the coach being like, okay, well, let's get you in there. It clearly showed in that game that he wasn't ready. He didn't have the arm strength that he normally has. His throwing was like literally off. It was either behind the receiver or underneath throw, or he was putting too much power into it. He was just overthrowing too much. I think the quarterback wasn't ready, and I think Oklahoma literally, just beat themselves coaching wise by letting that decision happen. But hopefully they get back, into it. It helped my team out on going up higher in the rankings. So I'll take anything that helps my team out. But I hope they can get coaching wise back on track and decide that the kid is not ready after surgery 17 days prior.
Yeah, I mean that definitely a I feel like if they would have won the game, said, well, it was a genius move, but they lost by a good margin, and they look kind of silly for it now. That's just, some risk you take in coaching, and that one didn't pay off for the Sooners. Tony, any final thoughts you got on this college football weekend?
Yeah, I had a couple of games. Of course, the Texas-Oklahoma
Yep.
stood out to me. Oklahoma's quarterback, when the season started, a lot of people thought he was going to Heisman. Of course, he got hurt. I've not been super impressed with Oklahoma as much as some people. The only team they've really beat this year so far has been Michigan. And now that they start playing in the conference, I think they're overrated. I think they was overrated at 6. They might be a top 20 team, but I don't think they're a top 10 team. That's just my opinion. Texas defense really stepped up, held them to 258 yards total offense, only 48 yards rushing, and Oklahoma had 3 turnovers. And I thought Manning played pretty well, 21 or 27, 166 yards and a touchdown, no turnovers. So I thought Texas played well. The other game that stood out to me was Penn State, losing to Northwestern 22-21. They lost their quarterback for the season. And not only that, they lost their head coach. The head coach is pretty rich now, buyout of $49 million. But it looks like Penn State is calling the year for this year because, they lost the quarterback. They're 3-3. They're out of the playoff hunt. And who would have thought? They had 10 or 11 players coming back from last year. A lot of people thought they was the team to beat. And just after losing to Oregon in overtime, it has just fell apart. Just completely fell off the wheels. So,
Tony, they're the number 2 ranked team coming into the season. The number 2 ranked team.
Yes.
They had, like you said, they brought Drew Aller back. They convinced them to stay when a lot of people thought, if he would have went to the draft, a lot of people pegged him as, top 5 quarterback to get drafted. So he bet on himself, and it sucks to see, but that's what happens sometimes. Whenever you get the advice to stay or go, you sometimes just make the wrong choice with Drew. He was going to go from probably a top 5 pick, top 5 quarterback select. I don't know about top 5, but in last year's draft, but Jones came back, run it back with Penn State, with James Franklin, and it just hasn't worked. Like you mentioned, Aller's out for the season now. He can't come back. He's done after this, which is going to really affect his draft stock. He'll be probably a mid-late round pick at this point. So that's going to hurt him, unfortunately. And as for Penn State, like you said, they're just kind of packing it up right now. Your starting quarterback's done for, and your coach is gone. So at this point, you're just playing to see who's next, right? Seniors, hey, we love it, enjoy you, but we got to figure out who's going to be up next for this program. And I don't know if Penn State is going to – I'm curious to see now, guys, how many players end up maybe leaving because James Franklin got fired. Obviously he did a lot of recruiting.
It's probably going to be a lot.
And we might see a flood of recruits leave Penn State here in the following weeks and months. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. We saw it with Alabama whenever Coach Saban left and they brought on DeBoer. We saw any team that goes through a coaching change like that, you kind of see that happen. But a team like Penn State, you're still going to have a lot of money behind you, a lot of help. You're still going to be able to get a lot of the recruits. So I don't know if they're going to be just down in the dumps for long, but I think this season you can pretty much wrap it up and just shoot for 500 plus ball at this point, and everyone stays healthy and help out some draft status. That's about most you can do, I think, at this point. Because I think any title game, any obviously college football playoff game, those hopes are out the window at this point.
Yeah, most definitely.
But another team too, I just want to talk about this one real quick. For those who saw the Georgia and Auburn game, good matchup. But we all know, if you saw that play, and I believe it was the third quarter, where Jackson Arnold, the quarterback, going in for a touchdown and a quick, QB sneak, trying to dive across the end zone. But we had the controversial call of the ball was punched out, it was fumbled, and then Georgia took possession. And after that, the game kind of flipped on its head. Auburn had been looking good up to that point, but after that call, which some will say controversial, some will say the right call, some will say the wrong call, Georgia gained momentum and took them to another win over the Tigers on the road. So, guys who saw the play, first and foremost, and what were your thoughts? Did the refs get it right, or did they screw up? And Glenn, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, that game was pretty good and stuff. The Georgia Auburn game.
Mm-hmm.
thought maybe Auburn was going to get the win on that, but Georgia figured things out late.
Tony, one of my coworkers brought this up to me today, and I want to get your thoughts. He was saying that, well, if it was ruled a fumble in Georgia's favor, then how come whenever the guy who got the ball ran it, he was never touched, and he ran it back for a touchdown, right? But they blew the whistle. But if they ruled it a fumble, but he wasn't down, kind of start asking more questions about this whole play in general. But just one of the closest calls we'll see probably all season.
I thought they got the call right, and I think the whistle blows it dead, so there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
It don't sound right, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way it is. But I thought the call was right. I thought it got punched out, and I thought it was the right call. I know, of course, if you're on the other side, if you're on Auburn's side, you don't think that way, and I don't have anything for either team. So, yeah, but it definitely switched the game because it was all Auburn up to that point. And then it became all Georgia after that. So definitely a big call and definitely a big play for that game.
Yeah, and Frankie, obviously two SEC teams slugging it out that have a deep rivalry for each other. Definitely a tight play. Did they get it right?
I don't think they did get it right. I honestly don't. I think they messed up the call there. But what do we know, right? I mean, we're just the people that are watching it on TV and get better views and better slow motion angles than the refs do apparently. But I guess that it is what it is. I'm gonna be real with you, Logan, and Tony, and Glenn, and Chris, if you're there.
Yeah.
I don't care about either of these teams. Okay, I feel like honestly, I know Tony's been waiting for this from me. He's like, we already talked 2 segments, and Frankie ain't turned into asshole Frankie yet. I'm just gonna say this, okay? I can't talk about Auburn. Because if I talk about Auburn, someone's going to end up messaging me on Facebook and telling me I don't know football or anything like that. And I get it because I'm an Alabama fan and we have some Auburn fans and they're like, they're like the
He's looking at you, man.
They're like I'm the Yankees and they're like the Mets, right? They're my little stepbrothers, right? Okay, no, I don't care about Auburn. Georgia, I don't care about because we always beat Georgia. All right, I'm just sitting back looking at this like. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? It don't matter because Alabama beats them both all the time. So I don't give a damn. But to answer your question, though, Logan, I do think that the refs did get this call wrong.
All right. Well, let us know in the comments how you thought it went.
Go ahead.
I was going to say they got the call wrong, obviously. I know I gave a different answer than what you asked originally, but yeah, they got the call wrong.
You convinced them, Frankie. Your words changed it. What he said.
He didn't even see the damn play. He just going over Frankie.
Yeah.
Tony, what was your thought there at the end?
Well, I had a question for Frankie because I mean, you guys are, if I'm correct, you guys already beat Georgia this year, and you guys, you said you lost to
Florida State.
What team in the SEC concerns you as far as you guys having a chance to win the championship, or is there a team?
Right now, to me, honestly, right now would be Tennessee. Okay. Tennessee's got a good quarterback. They got good coaching staffs over there, and they got a hell of a defense. They have a really good defense. To me, that's the only one right now that concerns me. Other than that, I mean, any of these teams can concern Alabama. Truly, we can beat them in the beginning of the year. We can beat them in the middle of the year. But sometimes there'll be moments where Alabama don't beat them when the moment counts towards the end of the year. So as of right now, at this point, I think Tennessee is the main one that's more focused on my view as us potentially winning the SEC. Other than that, after Tennessee, I'm looking at the rest of the schedule, and it's like, yeah, we might be able, Texas A&M. I think we got Texas A&M or something like that. So some of these are hits and miss, but I think it's going to come down to who Alabama, because Alabama's going to be in the SEC championship. I'm saying that right now. I know we're going to be in the SEC championship. Ty Simpson is going to get us to the SEC championship. It's more the fact of who we're going to be facing at the SEC championship. It could be Georgia again. It could be Tennessee. hell, you never know. It could be Texas, and it'll be weird because they already got 2 losses. But who knows? You can't say anything with how these people rank teams nowadays. So we never know. It depends on who we face at the end. But as of right now, at this very point, Tony, to answer your question, the one team is Tennessee.
Yeah. In Tennessee, like I said, Joey Aguilar is a hell of a quarterback. He's done great this year. I mean, Frankie, just some other SEC teams that, and also let's not forget too that Georgia plays Ole Miss this upcoming week. So if Ole Miss pulls that one off, that puts Georgia 2 SEC losses on the year. One against Alabama, and then the one will be against Ole Miss. So that'll be a little bit tougher sledding for them the rest of the season. We know Ole Miss is undefeated, so if Georgia gets the win over them, which I mean that's kind of the big highlight matchup. I mean, at least in terms of the highest ranked seeds this week. So if Georgia beats them, it's going to knock Ole Miss down a little bit. I still think they'll remain maybe in the top 12 if it's not a horrible game. But, I mean, that's really going to tell a lot maybe in terms of the power rankings after this week. But we will see how it goes and how the college football landscape shakes out. We'll wait until a little bit later in the week to look at the next week's games. Of course, just want to do a recap here before we talk NFL and started the program. We said that Brian Callahan, head coach for the Tennessee Titans, no more. He's been fired, let go after Tennessee lost yesterday to the Raiders, and they are still at 1-5 on the season. Cam Ward, number 1 overall pick, his coach is fired just 6 games into the season, and just all right. I mean, hey, Tennessee, obviously they had enough with Callahan. They weren't getting the results. I believe he went 4-19 in his tenure. Not, obviously not great. Just didn't work out, and they wouldn't go in our direction. So let's talk about that. And Tony, I'll have you go on this one first, just with Tennessee cutting bait with Callahan.
They made a huge mistake when they let the coach go that they had. I think they had a really, really great coach. Of course, now he's at New England, and we see he's turning things around pretty quick there. I thought it was a huge mistake when they got rid of him, and you see what happens. Sometimes the grass ain't always green on the other side. They went after Callahan, and things have not went well. But I mean, you got a rookie quarterback. I don't know what they thought this season was going to be. Did they really think that they were going to win a lot of games this year? I didn't. So I mean, but there was some reason why they got rid of Callahan. I mean, the offensive game plan hasn't been good. So I mean, what about the offensive coordinator? I mean, defense has been up and down. For the most part, the defense has been decent. So I don't know what they expected and why he got fired. But like I said, I would have never got rid of the coach I had there previously. So.
Yeah, and Chris, we'll welcome you into the show here and talking about Brian Callahan getting the axe and will no longer be on the sidelines there in Tennessee as they go forward now as just interim coaches and wait till the off season to fire someone or to hire someone full time. I'm sure, but I mean, if you're Cam Ward, obviously this kind of sucks. First year in the league, and your coach is gone, and now you're just kind of playing for just to not get hurt at this point. Obviously, they're not making the playoffs. I don't see them magically turning their season around. So, just playing for experience rather than any obtainable goal.
Hey Joe, two things happened to Jay. His team lost to the Titans, which is your team. They didn't lose to the Titans. I'm sorry, they lost to the Panthers. We were just talking about the Titans. So he's right now taking a sabbatical, and he's becoming a granddad. Everybody, yeah. Jay's becoming a grandfather. We can't lock him in the closet because if you heard Jay, his closet's wide open. If you guys know what I mean.
Yeah, I think Jay still has some outfits from the 80s in there that he just has not cleaned out. So, but yes, we wish Jay and the rest of the family
quite dusty.
Yes, quite dusty from his days. But Chris, let's get back on track. Your thoughts on Brian Callahan leaving?
I think this just shows another example of the Tennessee ownership group. The owner, that I forget the lady's name now, but since she kind of stepped up, it took a little more control. That I don't think they know what they're doing. You have a hell of a coach in Vrabel there, and the owner and the GM couldn't get along with him or didn't like him or something. So they move on, bring in Callahan. You give Callahan Levis last year, his first year there, and that was a disaster. And then you're starting a rookie quarterback this year again, and it hasn't looked good. Yeah, I think they're making. I mean, I'm not saying Callahan's a great coach, but I don't think you gave him much of a shot either. You've had 2 rookie quarterbacks, and I think Ward's a lot better than what Levis is. But you gotta give him a chance to try to develop. So yeah, I think Tennessee might have jumped the gun a little bit, but I think their biggest mistake, I agree with what Dad said, was when they got rid of Vrabel. You had a solid coach there, and look what he's done in New England.
Don't say that. Don't say that. That was the smartest thing they did, Chris. Don't say it.
Yeah. Frankie, we'll go to you next. You mentioned it. Also, bless you, Tony. I think that I agree with Chris said. What the hell do you have to work with, right? I mean, you had Will Levis, who I believe was like a 3rd or 4th round draft pick quarterback, who was your starter, was already kind of shaky. That didn't work out. He's now hurt for, I think, the rest of the year anyways. You get Cam Ward, but, handful of games in, you haven't done anything. What the hell were you expected to do? You picked number 1 overall. I mean, they got a couple of, good pieces, but that's not a team. So I feel like that, if they did fire him, I feel like he's kind of lost the boys in the locker room at this point, because why else wouldn't you just keep him on for the rest of the season and then just fire him at the end? That tells me if you're getting fired. I mean, look at James Franklin, right? I mean, everyone's been calling for his head for years now, and it finally took, for them to kind of fall over the tipping point there for, the administration to give them the axe. But Tennessee, bit of a different story. They didn't have a whole lot of expectations, and so far they're struggling. Not super surprised, though. So do you think they made the right move with this by cutting Callahan midseason?
I'm the type of person where I don't like to see a coach get fired midseason, no matter the sport.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's unfair. If you don't see this coach doing anything well for your franchise, all right, it's cool. Let him finish out the season, and then that's where you move on and you look at a different direction. When you fire a coach, and we've seen it in many franchises, when you fire a coach mid-season, it typically doesn't work out in your favor either or. Okay, for one, I think he did lose the locker room, Logan. I truly think he did, because by week 2, week 3, we seen Cam Ward out there in the press, literally coming out 100% okay with it, saying, well, we're ass. Like, literally saying this team is ass.
Yeah.
When he's a rookie, this is your 3rd game in as a rookie, and you have him coming out to the press saying we're ass. When that happens, that means you lost the locker room. But to just fire the guy mid-season when he has, like you said, nothing to work with, you got a rookie quarterback, you have no weapons on the wide receiver room, you have trash defense, you have terrible play calling on offense and defense as your coordinators. It's just a huge mess of caca in the Tennessee Titans organization. I don't know if this is going to do anything special for them in the years to come, but doing this mid-season is not going to make anything better. I mean, you're going to have somebody come in that's already in this coaching staff that was already trashed with this guy before you guys fired him. He's not going to make anything special. He's just going to hold the helm until this team finishes out the season, wherever they at in the draft rankings, and then they go get a coach. I don't think that's a smart move. I think you should just wait till the end of the year, see how many wins this guy can rack up. If he can't, whatever, and then that's when you let him go. I think doing it 5-6 games in is not okay. My theory, though, realistically, because they have to play the Patriots next, I think they just wanted to let that guy go, and they don't want Mike Vrabel to destroy him. Either or, we're going to destroy them, Logan. It don't matter if they got this guy or not. Mike Vrabel's coming to Tennessee with vengeance, and they didn't want this dude at the helm to see something dominant. I also think it's because you guys, the Raiders were 1-5. I think that the Titans looked at it as, we just came off of a win. This team is 1-5. They don't have Brock Bowers. They don't have a good offense right now because everybody's hurt. Their defense isn't collectively healthy as well. We can go out there and we can beat the Raiders. Instead, it was reversed, and the Raiders came out and just destroyed Tennessee. And I think that's where the ownership had his fun and said, you know what, we got to kick you out the door, kid. You're not it. Penn State let this guy go. We got to let you go as well.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, let's get your thoughts, man. Tennessee Titans get rid of their coach.
Not surprised, but the only thing that the Titans fans have to look forward to is that new stadium that they're building. But ain't nobody gonna give a shit by the time it's done, you know.
I mean, if
Honestly.
the product's bad, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that place is gonna be quite empty. I mean, it's already empty now where they're at Nissan Stadium. So, and the Colts have, been kicking their ass for a little bit. So, but with
Yeah.
them getting rid of Rabel, man, yeah, Rabel gonna come in and they're gonna kick their ass. It's gonna be embarrassing. It might be like a 50-10 kind of game.
Yeah, very well could be. We'll see how
If we let
ugly it can
Tennessee
get.
score, I'm gonna be pissed on my own team. if
Just
we let
score?
Tennessee score. They let them score. It's okay to let them score 3, but if I see Tennessee getting a touchdown, I'm gonna be pissed with Mike Vrabel and his defense.
That's
It'll be garbage time, Frankie. It won't be that bad.
I know if you're a coach in the NFL, you don't want the number 1 overall pick in the draft, because the last 4 quarterbacks that have been drafted number 1, their head coach has been fired during the season, and 6 out of the last 8 quarterbacks that have been drafted number 1, their head coach has been fired during the rookie season. So usually, if you get a rookie quarterback, if you get the number 1 pick and draft a quarterback, you're getting fired that year.
Your time's ticking.
It's been the trend here lately.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's a very telling stat, I think. But we'll see what happens with Tennessee and how they go rest of the year, and who they're ultimately going to hire in the offseason for the full-time role, unless whoever the interim is just kind of lights it on fire. But who knows what's going to happen there.
What's up with these injuries? Yeah, speaking of which, what's up with these injuries that happened during Colts warm-ups yesterday?
I was just going to bring that up, Glenn. I'm glad you beat me to it. Yeah, Anthony Richardson, Sr. He's expected to be out multiple games, guys, because he got hurt the pregame. Working on he suffered an orbital fracture in a pregame incident where he was stretching out using an elastic stretch band that it was tied to a pole. Well, basically, it snapped and the pole hit him in the face. It didn't leave him badly injured. The swelling was very significant, that his vision was temporarily impaired. There's not believed to be any damage to his eye, thankfully. But just from all accounts, very much a freak accident. And I think, guys, give me just a second. I'm going to pay respects for Anthony Richardson's eyes as well as the Dallas Cowboys here.
Yeah, get those glasses on. Let's go, man.
He's about
All right,
to look like
better.
Alistair Black now. He's got
There we
an
go.
Alistair Black eye.
Glenn, what are your thoughts on Richardson going down?
Logan looks like
As far as air goes, it's one of the things. And JR said best back in the day, "Get the hook, will ya?" But get his ass out of here. Get his
Yeah. Hey, Chris and Tony, did you guys see this live? I know Tony said you kind of got in a little late, but did you hear any chatter in the pregame of anyone around you?
No, I just heard that he wasn't available, and then it was after the game when I heard about the band thing. And then we also heard about Ward, who also got hurt. He suffered a concussion when him and another player, can't remember his tight end.
Ogletree, backup tight end Ogletree, they collided and he got a concussion.
Got a concussion. So I don't know what the hell they're doing in warm-ups. Maybe they should quit warming up. I don't know what the.
Well, on warm-ups, I think it was the guys that were throwing the balls. They had, I guess, 2 lines, and the guys threw the balls like basically the same spot, and they just ran into each other, didn't see each other. With Anthony Richardson, it just confirmed to me that dude's made of glass. He's the only not starting quarterback. He's the only quarterback in the NFL I know that can get hurt and not be in the game. Hell, he couldn't make it through a season when he was playing, and now he can't make it through a season as a backup quarterback. What the fuck?
he made of he ain't made of glass. Glass is too generous, Gonzo. He's made a freaking Dollar General Scotch tape.
Oh man. Man, he's great value. He's not even the name brand. Come on.
Dollar General.
Like you said, Logan, it was just one of them freak accidents.
Yeah.
But it is crazy that dude can't even make it through the full season healthy when he's not playing.
It's tough, man. Also, I mentioned the Dallas Cowboys. We'll talk about them. Glenn, you lost to the Panthers of all teams. What the hell, man?
Yeah, what
Frankie,
the F is right? Yeah, go. Yeah, go.
I'm
Yeah,
laughing
go-
at I'm laughing at two things. I'm laughing at one because Logan with the Cowboys. That's just hilarious to me. I think the Cowboys losing was hilarious. The first thing I'm laughing at was it's going back to Anthony Richardson, and I'm just in my head. I'm like wondering when it happened. Did he turn into one of those characters that just go out and yell, "Ow, my eye"? You know, like I'm just thinking of like,
Did he have like a Tom and Jerry esque yell?
yeah, like I'm trying
Yeah.
to think real hard, like how loud did he scream after he hit it, like hurt his eye, to where the medical staff was like thinking, "Oh, this is a serious injury right now." Like, did he scream, "Ow, my eye"? Like, what the hell happened? Oh, God, I wish Tony and Chris was there, sitting in the freaking stands watching.
I might
You
know
guys
somebody
got
that was
video
close
showing
enough
it.
to the field. So I'll have to ask him.
Oh man.
But
Yeah,
to
go
answer-
back to Glenn. Go back to Glenn.
Yeah, you
Glenn,
gotta take
tell
Glenn.
me-
Yeah,
we're
I
not
know.
letting
I
y'all
know
be here.
Frankie's anxious to hear this one. I know all y'all
Go ahead.
anxious
What's
to
your
hear this one.
thoughts? What's your thoughts?
I mean, what the hell are the Cowboys doing, man? I mean, we ain't been shit since 9-7. We lost to the Carolina freaking Kittens. I'll try to keep PG here, obviously, because why I said it yesterday in the group chat is pretty much how I think, man. We just ass. Cowboys are ass, and that's the way it is.
Oh. I mean, is this the low point of the season? Aside from the tie you had, I mean,
I
come
would
on.
hope this is the lowest point of the season. I mean, there might be more Cowboy infamous moments to come at this point.
Could be worse. You could lose to the Jets.
Yeah,
Well,
whoever
we
that
tied the
first
Jets,
step's gonna
so I mean, we should have beat them, but
You should have beat the Panthers.
be. Yeah,
yeah, we should beat the
you
should have beat them
the
by about
Panthers.
10.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys did beat the Jets. I beat them like it was a goddamn
Yeah.
practice team. Then you come out and face the Panthers, and you guys look like the practice team. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell happened.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They lost in translation, lost emotion, or how the hell you want to say that.
Yeah,
It's a good thing my other team is doing all right, because man, it'd be a tough time right now.
No, it's tough right now for the Cowboys. And much to what Mike said. He asking you shall receive. Oh, also, hey, hold on, Glenn. You're getting called out here from our boy Joe. He says, "Come on, Glenn. What kind of fan are you talking about your team like that? Come on, have some
I
pride."
want to have hope, but man, the Carolina Kittens. I mean, shit.
No, just tell them straight up, Glenn. You're not a delusional Cowboy fan like Joe is.
Yeah, I'm not a delusional Cowboys fan. I have to view it how I see it, and we just ask right now.
I feel like Joe in 2 seconds is gonna come up in the comments saying the Cowboys are still gonna make the Super Bowl even after losing to the Panthers.
Golly, hey, that defense, man. Y'all need to fire the coordinator into the sun at this point. It's getting bad.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
one of those things, man. At this point, I just be happy to win our Thanksgiving Day game.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll see if they pick up some momentum overall. I want to talk about my loser of the week, and that is, you mentioned it earlier, Chris. That's the New York Jets. They lost 13-11 in the ugliest game probably all season. Justin Fields, poor guy, 9 sacks, threw for I think negative 10 yards. If you started him in your fantasy team, I'm sorry for the loss. My God. And the Jets just continue to tumble and fumble and just not do anything. It's just tough overall. But, man, just a bad look overall for New York. Are they going to win a game this year, gentlemen? They lost in London, 0-6 on the year. They're not going to be changing anything soon, it doesn't look like. But are they going to get a win, Tony? Do you think that they'll get it against Carolina, for God's sake? Or is Carolina going to be on a hot streak after their win over the Cowboys?
Man, I don't know if they're going to get a win or not. Man, they look awful bad. I know a lot of people calling out Fields, but and I didn't. I just got to see some highlights. Of course, I didn't see the game. A lot of people blaming him, but if you got sacked 9 times, that can't be all you. I mean, some of it could be maybe hanging on the ball too long or something. But I know some of the highlights I've seen, it looked like it wasn't even 3 seconds and he was getting tackled. So the offensive line's got to be a big part of that problem, and defense too. I mean, it's the whole thing. And my question is, if they lose another 4 or 5 in a row, does that coach get fired?
Dude, I don't know what the Jets and the Browns, I feel, are two just cursed franchises who are never going to get it right at this point. I mean, hell, the Jets haven't been relevant. They haven't been a good team since Rex Ryan 15 years ago.
No, Logan, the Jets are cursed. I remember Joe Naismith coming out saying this team is never going to win another Super Bowl until I'm dead. Like, he made a deal with the devil. Like,
It feels like it.
Like, he legit cursed the Jets, and I love every minute of this curse.
No, I'm sure you do.
Tony, you didn't watch the game?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Tony you didn't watch the game, Tony?
No, I was at the Colts game.
Oh, I woke up bright and early, bushtail early, watching this game, enjoying every minute of the Jets' demise. And I'm blaming not just Justin Fields, but I'm going to blame Garrett Wilson. I'm going to blame that defense, and I'm especially blaming Aaron Glenn of how he managed that last 2-minute drill to end the first half. It was just absolutely
that was egregious.
Just absolute terrible. And then having Garrett Wilson come in your face. When a star player like Garrett Wilson come in the coach's face, you could just tell right there that this team is not synced with that coach. This team is all in shambles right now, and I love every minute of it. I love every minute of it, baby.
Frankie, correct me if I'm wrong, but that play that you're mentioning, I believe the previous, it was like 4th and 3 maybe, and then the Jets run a fake punt to get the first, and then they weren't able to do anything.
Yep.
And that's, I mean, first off, you take a big risk just going for it, but you succeed, but you just don't do anything else.
Yep.
It kind of feels like they're here, honestly.
You don't even get to field goal range, Logan.
No.
Like, it's if you know you're not gonna get 7 points out of it or 6 points, at least try and drive to field goal range to give Nick Foles. Nick Foles got a leg. He can make at least 50, 52. He can't make 55. I know for sure.
That's tough.
50 to 52, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, God, I don't know if things are going to get a whole lot better for New York this year. Guys, we'll do our just kind of round up football topic here before we talk a little bit of wrestling.
Hold on, but Logan, real quick. This comes to my point for Jay and Tony, because I had two shows ago when I was here, on my two shows when I was here ago, Jay's over here praising the Jets like, yeah, they're bad, but I see improvement. And then Tony follows up at some point last week on Friday, yeah, the Jets, they're bad, but I do see improvements with the Jets. And then I come out laughing like, I don't know what the heck you guys are seeing. I can see no improvements with this team. I don't know what they're seeing. But then Tony says the quarterback and stuff. I don't see improvements in Justin Fields either right now. I don't.
They ain't been bad since 1969. There you have it.
Yeah, they just suck.
Hey, that's a good year. That's a good year to be remembered. 1969.
No shit.
Go name it, baby. Just All right. Anything else you guys saw on the football front? Obviously, we saw the scuffle with KC and Detroit last night, which we don't know how many games Brian Branch is going to be suspended for. It's going to be probably at least a few for him punching or slapping Smith-Schuster in the post game. But what else were kind of your takeaways this week?
Yeah, I have a question for all of you.
Go ahead.
How effective can the Tampa Bay Buccaneers be now that they possibly lost what's his name? Mbuka, yeah. Because now they did say Mike Evans is probably going to return this week for practice or next week for practice. But this dude, Baker Mayfield, was doing everything he can with just one guy. And now they're down their running back. They're down both their top star wide receivers and now their rookie wide receiver. I don't know how much long Tampa Bay is going to keep winning.
If anyone can do it in the league at this point, it's Baker Mayfield that can keep you above water. I mean, we know how good he is for sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're going to, continue the pace they're at, but I think that he'll keep them doing pretty well their next set of opponents.
Hey, we're part of that opponent. Don't throw that up in that. We're gonna beat Tampa. We're gonna beat Tampa.
Is it at home or in the road? Do you know?
I think we're in Tampa.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But guys, anything else?
You don't sound confident, Logan.
I don't know how it's gonna go.
It's just the way you said it, though. You're like
he said it like, Logan, that's gonna be a loss for the Patriots. That's how he said it.
You heard that, right? It's like, Logan, we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
You're trying to
it's like, yeah, circle lost.
You had the sounding of, well, we'll see how it goes. Like you have no faith in my team to win that game.
We'll see how it goes, Frankie. Is that better? We'll see how the Patriots can do against your dastardly opponents. Is that better?
But like the resistance from Star Wars, they all will fall.
Yeah.
One takeaway I did have, it don't have nothing to do with none of the other games, but
Mhm.
the view at Lucas Oil Stadium when they have that big window and the roof open like that is freaking amazing. The view out that big window through the city it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I could almost wave to you from my place, but it really be like that. But Salesforce Tower is in the way, so.
Mm.
And then that place was rocking yesterday, especially in that there at the end of the game in the fourth quarter. That place was a fun time.
I bet it got louder
because I thought you guys were up by 3. I didn't pay attention to the score really closely, and they were close. They were in the red zone, Arizona. They looked like they were about to score. I did see that apparently there was supposed to be a flag thrown. There wasn't any thrown. I don't know. I really didn't get a good look at that call on pass interference.
Yeah.
I don't think it was, but I didn't get a good view on that one. But I didn't look at the score, and I thought you guys were up by 3, and they had it was 4th and 3 for Arizona, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself like, why the hell did they go? Why didn't they go for the tie? But then I re-looked at it on the ESPN, and I'm like, oh, good, because the Colts were up by 4. So they had to go for the touchdown. In my head, though, I'm like watching my game, and I see it on the bottom, and I'm just like, why ain't they going for the kick? Why did they go for the touchdown? Like Jacoby Brissett, what are you doing? Then I really looked at it, and I'm like, oh, they were up by 4. But Chris, did you guys really don't be a fan? Don't be a fan. Be real. Was there a pass interference that they missed?
I didn't think there was, but I'll be honest, I haven't seen a replay or anything of it either. I just saw it live there at the stadium.
Yeah, they didn't show
the Cards receiver got tugged.
Hey,
there was a tug there, so yeah.
Glenn, this segment is for winning teams only. Only Logan, Tony, Chris, and myself can talk.
I can't talk because I'm a Colts fan too.
Oh my God! No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. You're not going to take this win.
Well, even if it was a pass interference, there were some calls that were missed earlier in that game as well. So I mean, it wasn't like it was that the Colts didn't have any calls go against them during that game.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, no, it was a good game. Colts we should have been up by a lot more at halftime than 4. We let Arizona hang around, and they made it interesting there in the second half. The Colts pass defense was terrible yesterday. Run defense wasn't bad, but our pass defense was terrible. Don't help that you get your best corners fucking hurt concussion before the game even starts.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have some injuries at corner, and we're a little thin there. It showed up a little bit yesterday, but hey, was able to get the win and we're in the lead in our division right now, setting good. And
not just the lead, Chris. You guys are currently number 1 seed in the AFC.
Oh boy, congrats! Yep.
That's the last. When was the last time y'all seen that? Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning.
Probably Peyton. I don't know if we were ever the number 1 seed in the AFC with Luck. We might have been the one year with Luck. Because I think we went 15 and 2 that one year with Luck.
Oh yeah, that was that was the year you guys lost to us.
Yep.
Yeah.
You fake guy.
Yeah, he remembers that. Yeah, he remembers that one. But we'll see what happens the rest of the league. Obviously, we got 2 games tonight: Atlanta and Buffalo, and Washington and Chicago. We'll see how those go. And
guys,
go tonight.
Guys, I've never been so on the edge of my seat for Falcons to win tonight.
Why is that?
Because we're 4-2, and if the Falcons win, the Bills will be 4-2, which puts the Patriots at number 1 in the AFC East. Let's go, Atlanta.
Let's go Birds.
I'm gonna.
He ain't seen that since before COVID.
Did you guys already talk college football?
We did. Yeah.
We'll say, what about them Hoosiers?
I'm about to say number 3.
You know what sucks about that? Our schedule Gonzalez, we don't play Ohio State this year unless. But see that,
we'll play them in the Big Ten championship.
Really? Even with that realignment?
Yeah, in the Big Ten championship, yes.
Yeah, we could play them in the Big Ten championship. We don't play them in the regular season, but we could play them in the Big Ten championship for the
Yeah,
those Big Ten
they can get
titles.
his hands though.
That's if y'all don't lose 3 in a row.
Mm.
Nah, we ain't Penn State.
Glenn,
No
Glenn,
one's Penn State.
Glenn, you be confusing me, bro. You be confusing me.
Penn State. Hey, Penn State was probably was supposed to be our next toughest game left, but now it's
Not
probably
now.
going to be UCLA.
Yeah, hey, UCLA, credit to them. They fired their head coach like week 3, and they've looked great ever since.
Yeah.
So that sometimes works in the favor of firing your head coach.
I tell you what, IU. I don't know if you guys watched that game, but
He was in control.
IU dominated that game. Like IU dominated that game close more than what that score shows too. Like other than that one interception that Fernando threw, that was really the only time Oregon. Other than that we controlled that game. Like only gave up for like 45 yards of offense in the second half. Like that second half was all IU.
That's how I felt about Alabama because Missouri had the best time of possession in the FBS, and when they came up and they played Alabama held them to like under 20 minutes of time of possession with the ball.
Yes.
And they honestly on paper like they dominated them on the stat sheets compared to how close that game was. I feel the same way, Chris, with Alabama on that.
Hey, Tony, I'll say this, Frankie. I watched the end of that Alabama game with Missouri. Bro, that Missouri quarterback looked scared for his life. He couldn't complete a pass. He was throwing it high, throwing it low. It wasn't pretty to watch.
Yeah, well, I feel like most of the time that's what happens with quarterbacks is like you don't have that much time left in the game, and you know that you're down by a certain amount to where you can't just kick a field goal to go for a tie and go into overtime. You're rushing it to try and get that touchdown, or at least try and build up some yardage to do what you can do. And when you're under pressure like that, you're just not going to sink well. I've seen it many times with many quarterbacks and many franchises, and not just college. We've seen it in NFL as well. When they're under pressure to try and get that last touchdown to make it a better game, they just fall out of sync.
They don't know what to do. Well, I mean, hey,
look at Jared Goff, for example, last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that impressed me about IU real quick was we only gave up 13 points to Oregon. Our defense did. I know they ended up getting 20, but 7 of them was off that a pick 6.
Right.
We only gave 13 points to them. They scored over 30 points against everybody they played this year, including Penn State. Like their offense has been putting up a lot of points. We don't only give up 13 points to them, and only 3 points in the second half because they had 10 at halftime. We only gave up 3 in the second, other than the pick 6. So. Yeah, IU's defense was real impressive over the weekend.
Yeah.
Did you see the interview that they had post game, Gonzo? Man, that dude was looking like he was overwhelmed emotionally, which I completely understand because that's how that game was.
Yeah, that's a big win to go. I mean, to beat Oregon's a big win, but to go to Oregon, and beat them in Oregon. I mean, Ohio State hadn't been able to do it. Like that's a big win to do it on the road like that. So yeah,
Austin Stadium is one of the loudest in the country. So
I think it's a good program. They're pumped out there, and IU's had a great year. We'll keep talking about them as the year goes on. But we're gonna ride out here, fellas. All of us big wrestling fans, so we're gonna talk wrestling because Monday Night Raw's already happened. It happened 8 a.m. It was news to me. I was just scrolling through my Twitter. I'm like, the hell? Why am I seeing highlights? But I forget they're still out in Perth, so they're still doing the international shows.
I mean, are we allowed to call it Monday Night Raw tonight, or are we allowed to?
How about Monday morning? Monday, yeah.
AM Raw.
Yeah, that's what they used to call it. Whatever the replays at 3 a.m. or whatever. So we'll do AM Raw. I also haven't a chance to watch it. I don't know if any of you guys have. Or any of the highlights. Tony, I see you shake your head. Yes,
he probably watched it live at 8 o'clock this morning.
Tony had his coffee, he had a bagel, and he was watching AM Raw.
It wouldn't be a coffee, a bagel. It'd be a Slim Jim and a Coke.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had
Slim Jim and a Coke. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a real filling breakfast right there. But Tony, what were your thoughts on Raw this morning?
It was a good Raw. They had a good weekend, a good SmackDown. I thought the pay-per-view was pretty good. I thought the day was real good, a lot of good matches. And then the ending, I mean, I knew that it was going to happen sooner or later, but they did it a lot different than I thought they would, and a lot sooner. I thought that Braun Breaker would turn, but I thought Braun Breaker would end up turning babyface, but he turned heel. And if you go back and watch the video, it didn't look like Paul Heyman was on board at first, but it looked like because after he did what he did, I don't think anybody knew he was going to do it. Supposedly in storyline, he went to Bronson Reed, and you can hear him mouth it. He said, "You're either with me or you're against me." And then Bronson Reed gets up on the ropes and gives him gives him a big splash, and then he tells him, to Sami, and he goes to Heyman and tells him the same thing. You're either with me or you're against me, and he holds up both of them hands. So I think it's going to be interesting. Some rumors are that Seth is hurt a little bit. So maybe he's going to defend the title soon. I think it's Saturday night's main event against CM Punk, and that's coming up November 1st. So it'll be on Peacock. So I think that's going to be his next title defense. But there's some rumors that he's hurt. They've got a lot of good storylines going on with Asuka and the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and Io Sky. They've got the thing with Roman and Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso. So they got a lot of good storylines going. And I think they're doing pretty well right now. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I think they swerved the fans that for one thing they did it quicker than what everybody thought, and they did it different than what everybody thought. Because a lot of people thought Braun Breaker was going to be a huge baby face, and he still may be eventually. They could do that a year or two down the road. But right now, I think he may be the main heel on the show. I mean, he's ready. He's more than ready.
Whoa. There is no bigger heel on the show right now than my boy Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, but he's chicken shit heel.
Whoa!
Don't tell Jeremy Hadley that.
I want to ask a question to Tony. How can you turn heel if you're already heel?
True. That's true. But a lot of people thought he was going to turn babyface. I think he's surprised by that he stayed heel. But does this mean? I would assume it means Seth is going to be a face, but who's going to want to team with him? I mean, who's going to want to help?
He's burned every bridge you can think of.
I think it's gonna go down the road where Seth still continues to be a heel, but not towards Bronson Reed, and
Like a middle of the road heel.
But anyone else, he's gonna be a heel.
But there's one person who will stand behind him, stand with him in the end, and that would be Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Becky Lynch.
Well, I'm not sure she will.
Yeah, they didn't swerve Frankie though. Frankie called that outright, and I saw it in the group chat this morning. I didn't watch it live. I saw clips of it and stuff after I woke up officially and stuff. But one thing that we hadn't touched on is
Woke up. What time you get out of bed? 8 a.m. You should be up watching Raw. What's up?
I guess watch clips. Yeah, but anyways, I'm excited to see that storyline with Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. That's gonna be fire because they planted the seeds for that today. So,
yeah. And Chris, what do you think of all the happenings over the weekend with WWE?
To be honest with you, I haven't watched any of it yet. I haven't watched the pay-per-view from Saturday, and then I haven't seen Raw yet. I was Saturday. I was in football mode. I was getting ready for the big IU Oregon game, and then of course we went to the game yesterday. But yeah, I haven't got a chance to watch any of the wrestling. I'm gonna try to watch that pay-per-view probably sometime later today. I was going to try to watch it last night, but I came home after the Colts game and started watching Sunday Night Football, and then ate me some dinner. And next thing I know, I woke up this morning and all my lights and TV and everything was still on, and I was still in my damn clothes from the game.
Yeah,
I passed the hell out about 10:30 last night. Didn't get up till like 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, the John Cena and AJ Styles match is definitely.
I heard that was real good.
You got to see AJ Styles for the first time in 20 years. He wasn't short.
Some people think it's the match of the year. Some people call it match of the decade. I thought it was very good. I don't know if it was match of the year. Maybe it was very well done. It was really good. And then also last night, real quick, I watched the TNA pay-per-view, and they had the Hardy Boys against Team 3D, and Team 3D's last match. And it wasn't a great match. It wasn't going to be a great match, even though Jeff Hardy tried to break his neck jumping off the top of the ladder. Actually, I think it looked like he hit his head on the back of the ladder, but he didn't get out far enough. But it was very good storytelling. It was very good. And then also, I'm going to forget it. Santana won the TNA championship. Thought that was outstanding with him and Trick Williams. I think they got the right guy to be the champion for TNA. So it was a good show.
NXT Live is going to be Chicago. I think it's next month. If they will be running shows over here in Detroit, Columbus, Ohio, and Chicago, they need to have one right here.
Glenn, I'm trying to talk Chris and them to go to Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber is going to be in Chicago.
When February? Shit.
Yep.
I might be interested.
There's no might. Let's come on.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Daytona might be out of the question, but I would probably, if I didn't go to Daytona, I'll probably go to Elimination Chamber. I'll say that right now.
All right, guys. Hey, and Glenn, since we got you here, man, give us an update on NASCAR. I know they're in the playoffs right now, and big win for Hamlin yesterday. Got his 60th of his career.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin's dad is not doing too well right now, so he was pretty emotional yesterday. I honestly think he's going to be our next NASCAR champion. If I had to throw a championship parlay out right now for Phoenix in a few weeks, I would go Hamlin for the Cup, Zilich for the Xfinity Series, and Corey Heim for the Truck.
All right, we'll see how that shakes out.
Those are going to be your three champions.
All right, we'll see if it comes to fruition. Let's just get our final thoughts in here. Anything else you want to get off chest before we end our show for today? Chris, we'll let you start.
What about those Seattle Mariners with a big win last night? I think I was the only one that thought they were going to win that game last night. It seemed like everybody I talked to thought they were going to get beat because of the afternoons, the pitching and everything the game before. But no, that's a big win for Seattle last night. And to me, that's last night's game is what's going to win Seattle this series and get them to the World Series.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep the momentum going with Game 2 tonight. First pitch hit just after 5 o'clock. And Frankie, let's go with you, my friend. Any final thoughts you got here?
Toronto suck. Yeah.
3-game
win streak, baby. 3-game win streak. We 4-2 on the year. I haven't seen a schedule and a record like this on my team since Tom Brady was at the helm, baby. Since Rob Gronkowski was a tight end. Since Julian Edelman the Squirrel was a wide receiver. And since Bill Belichick was a great head coach. He ain't anymore. He's not no more. But when he was, this is what we looked like. Man, we got a better record than the Chiefs. We got the same record than the Lions. We're close to having the same record as the Colts. I can't wait for Daniel Jones to just freaking pumble. I'm still waiting for it. It's going to come soon. It's going to come soon. We look better. We look better than the Cowboys. And we are close to being better than the Bills. Baby, we are back. Woo!
Yankees lose.
No, come on. Glenn, be nice in your final thoughts here.
Yes. Yeah, it's good to see the Patriots back on top. I mean, well, close to being back on top, but they on an upward trajectory.
Yeah. I feel you on that. I see what you mean. And Tony, let's go with your final thoughts here to end the show.
Logan, that's the second time you dubbed my team, Logan. I'm getting sick of it. That's the second time.
Sorry for you to pick up, yeah. Go ahead, Tony.
Go Colts. That's all I got.
All right, yeah. Nice and simple to the point. And we will wrap up the show with that. So first off, guys, appreciate all of y'all coming on the show, talking some sports over the weekend, of course, with some football, baseball, basketball straight up here soon. Preseason's underway, so we'll be on that. And Glenn, you're going to the game tomorrow night. You said it right?
No, tonight.
Tonight, okay, yeah. So we'll have
play San Antonio tonight.
All right. Well, maybe you'll guide Pacers to the win over the Spurs, and maybe you can see if you see Wembanyama in person. Let us know just if he's 7'5" or whatever the hell he is.
Oh, I definitely will, man. I'm definitely gonna have a clip for you guys in the good chat.
Yeah, no doubt. And also, hey, Frankie, you mentioned hockey. How's your team's doing?
My team is good right now. We won our first game of the year. I'm waiting to see our second one. It's about to start any minute right now. I'm waiting. Maybe I'm waiting.
Yeah, and of course, you guys can also check out more hockey stuff with our show we got here on the network, The Royally Quack. They do Kings and Ducks commentary, but also just general hockey news as well. So those are the experts you guys want to go to for that. But for everyone joining us here today, Foxborough, Frankie C, Tony and Chris Gonzalez, and of course, Big Glenn, video host and producer Logan Landers. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you again tomorrow at 2 o'clock on the afternoon.